Well, Adronis, we really want to see you on planet Earth. We want to see many of our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters coming here on this planet and being able to greet us. We want that physical presence. We want that anchor. We want to be able to interact with you face to face. Believe us when we say, we know you do. This is not in that idea of feeling that we're being cruel to you and saying, ha ha, humans, no, you cannot interact with us, we're too good for you. No, that's not the idea at all. What you are basically going through right now is an essential phase of development, maturity cycles, that are all part of your race's collective consciousness to trend to the point at some certain timeline, at some certain timing, where that will be possible. But there is still so much more that needs to be done upon your planet. Let us put it in this way, and this is as accurate as we can basically give it to you. You have a television show on your planet known as Star Trek, yes? The whole idea in regards to one of the rules that have been created through that show that is actually very true is what you would consider to be the prime directive, the law of non-interference. This is a true law. We are not, in that sense, being fictitious to the idea of saying, oh, this is just made up. No. This is a true law. This is how it works. This is how it works with many other planets. Not to interfere in the development of a civilization that is attempting to reach maturity. Now, believe us when we state that in your ancient pasts, there have been a great deal of interference with your culture, and that much of this is attempting to be rectified through many other different civilizations in that sense that, shall we say, abuse those particular forms of sacred laws. And so what is happening right now is that the absence of our presence in that sense is all part of a collective agreement to helping you assist behind the scenes by communicating through many of you in this way right now, like how we are communicating with this conduit through Brad, and how we are communicating with you right now, and that certain members of your population in that sense are able to, shall we say, see us upon, shall we say, certain spacecraft, and that we are able to, shall we say, appear in visions or appear in dream states, etc. This is all part in that sense of cohesive, acceptable forms of contact. Now, it is getting closer. It is most certainly getting closer that many of you in that sense are reaching a point of contact, and that many of you wish to see, shall we say, our ships. You wish to see many of us walking your earth and having a family unification happen. So would we. We would absolutely love this. However, your species isn't ready for that yet. And we don't mean to be harsh. It's simply how it is. Your species is not ready for that yet. Now, there are certain degrees of you, certain groups, certain individuals who are ready, and in that sense are able to receive a small degree of energetics that represent our presence in some form, whether it be through a channel, whether it be through, shall we say, certain selective vision states, altering certain brainwave patterns, altering certain vibrational frequencies to allow ourselves to be coplanar with your reality. Yes, this indeed does happen. It's happening right now. The whole idea is that this is, shall we say, what is acceptable at this point of your development. You humans will be going very far. You humans will be transcending to new bounds you never thought you could imagine. But there's a lot of work to do upon your planet. And this is where we would suggest many of you in that sense to bring more of your energies towards. We understand you're excited about the extraterrestrial presence. We understand that you're very excited about the many, many different species that are beyond your world, that are working behind the scenes to assisting your planet and yourselves. Here's the kicker, though. We're not really important. That's the idea. We're not really important to you right now. And we mean this again in a very respectable way. Our job is to remain within the shadows. Our job is to stay behind the veil and do what we have volunteered to do. So again, this is where it goes back to us saying that it's not about the messenger. It's about the message. Expand yourselves. Realize that you are connected to all things. Work together with the earth, because the earth is something that you can see. It is something that you can hear. It is something that you can smell. It is something that you can taste. It is something that you can touch. It is something that you can fully interact with. Work with your fellow people, for you are able to perceive them. Work with your animals, for you are able to perceive them. Work with your plants, work with your trees, work with your vegetation, for you are able to perceive them. Work with the elements of your planet, for you are able to perceive them. That's what matters. That's what's important. This is what creates an acceleration within your own civilization when you begin to take care of yourselves, when you begin to assist others, when you begin to work together as what you are brought on this planet to work as. Facilitators for your world. You must be symbiotic together with your world. That when your world is suffering, you're the first ones to answer the call. Not the animals, not the vegetations. You are the first ones meant to answer the call. That's the idea. And when you start to do a lot more of this, going from place to place to place to place to place to place to place around your planet and facilitating where you know you are needed, that's a mature civilization. You are working together symbiotically. It's not about ego. It's not saying, oh, I did this more than you did, or I did less than you did, etc., etc. It's not about that anymore. When you start to develop yourself as a mature civilization, then guess what happens next? You graduate into becoming a galactic-based civilization. That's how it works. That's why you're moving up to fourth density. You're moving into becoming a much more quasi-physicalized, crystallized version of a civilization that's now moving more into the realm of love and self-responsibility. It's not so much about, shall we say, the self anymore. It's more in the idea that you are graduating from self and ego into self-responsibility. Responsible, loving, unification. That the self is still present, but the self works together as the all. And when you start to do this, this is where contact can take place. This is where now we can be a little bit more important. Now we can start to show ourselves a lot more, rather than showing ourselves a little bit more here and there. So we hope that this helps you in that sense to, shall we say, gain an aspect, an idea of where we are coming from.